What you mean, camera? Like, who got one? Like, you already know. Like, I got you. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to my channel. First off, I gotta thank you guys. That's like the #1 priority here. I have received so much love recently. So many subscribers are tuned in now. Obviously, most of you have seen my collaboration with my friend Kenneth, known as He Flaws on YouTube, our Crazy Truth or Dare video. And you guys were definitely participating in the comments. Y'all had some stuff to say. Y'all was a little left, y'all was a little right, but for the most part, everybody was just showing a lot of love, and I couldn't ask for anything more than that. So thank you so much, I appreciate it. Kenneth, thanks for collabing with me. You're amazing, you've been an amazing friend to me, so thanks all across the board. This video is going to be my first story time ever. I'm going to tell you guys about how exactly I became a model for H&M, and my face was basically plastered all over the entire country. So if you're interested to find out how this face was plastered all over the entire country, go ahead and stay tuned. And if you have not already subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and click the button. We gonna have to discuss this every single video. Click that button. If you like the video at the end, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and then let me know what you guys think about it in its entirety in the comments. Like, if you have any extra questions, if there's something else that you wanted to know about the story that I didn't answer, leave a comment. I interact with you guys. We definitely respond back and forth, and that's fun for me. That's probably the best part out of all of this, is being able to feel like I know you guys a little bit better. So definitely hit me up in the comments. But yeah, stay tuned. All right, so let's get into this story. How did this even come to fruition? By the Lord, first of all. Blessings all around. Blessings over here, blessings over there. First of all, this happened during, like, I wouldn't say a rough period in my life, but I was just very uncertain about where my life was going right before this happened. I had just decided to take off a full semester for school because I was planning on transferring to where I am now at UNT, which is a whole nother video, probably going to be uploaded after this one. We'll see. But all of that was going in my head, so there was just a bunch of craziness, right? So this couldn't have happened at a better time. So the situation started when I was approached at work by my store manager. She had received an email that was from the company basically saying, hey, we need you guys to select your model employees, people who follow our standards, our values, and anyone who you think is a good example of what it means to be an employee at H&M. So I was selected. And it was funny how the conversation went, because she was like,
oh, well, are you interested in being in front of the camera? Are you camera shy?
And y'all already know me. So in my head, I'm like, what you mean, camera? Like, who got one? Like, you already know. Like, I got you. But in reality, I just kind of kept it cool. So she's like,
oh, okay, cool. Well, I don't know the details on it yet. This is just the email that I received. So just be prepared. We'll talk soon.
So the email goes through. We end up getting another email about a week or so later saying that the finalists were selected. So I'm like, wait a minute, finalists? Like, y'all using big words for this? Like, is this really that important? So I'm like, okay, cool. We have another conversation. She tells me about it. I'm like, okay, well, what's the next step? They had a list of questions for us to answer by email, and then they also wanted us to submit a video of ourselves. So in my head, I'm like, okay, the questions and the answers I get, but what's the video for, right? Whatever, I don't ask too many questions. I knew it was an opportunity. I wanted to take the opportunity, so I just went ahead and followed the rules. So I send my email first, like immediately, and I'm like, I'll record a video whenever I have time, sometime this weekend or whatever. And I recorded the video from my phone. I thought I sent the email. I did not send the email. And I didn't find this out until a day before all of the videos and all the emails were due. I happened to check my email. Something told me, you know how you got, like, what is it? It's your conscience. You got something in the back of your head that's just like,
you need to do this. Something was telling me you need to check these emails. I know you do.
So I checked it, and the video never sent. Woo! I was scared, so I sent another email panicking like, hey you guys, I'm sorry my video never sent through. I know you guys got the text part of it, of me answering the question, is there anything we can do? You know, can I submit it late? So they responded, they're like, take your time, don't worry about it. Go ahead and submit it, we'll still accept it. So they accepted it, and I think another week later, that's when they gave us a set date. And the set date was the information of us going to New York. So I'm like, huh, we going where? Like, I've been to Florida, I've been to Georgia, I've been to like surrounding states, Louisiana. The furthest I've probably gone is Virginia, right? So New York is a big thing to me. And of course I was gonna say yes. Of course I was completely excited. So we're like, okay, cool. We plan the ticket. I know which day I'm flying out. Everything is just going well, right? Once I arrived to New York, it was like beautiful. The only thing I did not like was they have a landing procedure that kind of made me sick because it feels like a roller coaster going down. I guess they drop by levels. I think it was like it's like a 9/11 prevention procedure. I don't know, that's what I was explained to. So anyway, the city was beautiful. I just didn't like that it was freezing cold being from Texas. Like, it was a culture shock. I get to the hotel and I see this girl in like this like fabulous zebra print vest. It was really puffy. So we're talking and we're checking in with what's the person that works at the front desk, whoever that is. We were talking to them and she was like, oh, are you with H&M too? I'm like, yeah. So we end up hitting it off and communicating. We exchanged numbers, right? And it's funny that that happened because that ended up being my buddy for the entire trip. We were like kind of partnering with somebody, you know, just so you're not out there alone. So fast forward, we go shopping, that's fun. We end up coming back to the building where they had a dinner catered for us. Now, this is where you want to pay attention. This was when we found out what the campaign was going to be and that it was a big deal. So they told us while we were here, they're like, we actually are flying out a group of you guys, like 15 people each day, in order to film this campaign. So the campaign essentially was to not rebrand or relaunch, but to make customers and people aware of what it's like to work at H&M. So it was essentially a recruitment campaign. One thing that stood out to me was when he said, unfortunately,
we are not going to be able to use all of you.
Y'all, I am not a competitive spirit. I promise you, I don't really care. I feel like everybody is the shit in their own right. Excuse my language. But when they told me that, I just ain't know what to think no more.
I was like, oh, okay, so this is a competition.
So at that point, I knew, like, don't be different. Like, don't change to make sure that you're a part of this. Just make sure you're your authentic self, but make sure to be the you that you know you are. Make sure that they remember you by something, right? Boom, competition. So the next day was the morning of. Ashley and I, who was the girl that I met at the front office, we get together and we're riding down together because we had the same filming time. I believe it was like at 8 o'clock in the morning. So this $5 taxi ride that I was telling y'all about before, this is where all the drama happened. So we get into the car. I did not know that when you're in New York, you're supposed to tell somebody the exact coordinates of the streets that you're on, and then you walk to whatever the building is. So I get in the taxi and I'm like, yes, I tell them the exact address. 100 Booty Call Lane. I don't know where, I can't remember it now, but I just told them the building number on the street. So we're in the car, we're driving, and not even 2 minutes into it, he's going a different way. So I'm like, oh, don't say nothing yet. You don't know where you are. This is New York. They probably, are going a different way, a faster way. So I look at Ashley. I'm like, Ashley, this doesn't look the same. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So I'm like, sir, where are we going again? Like, do you need the address again? Because it just looks a little bit different. He's like, oh, no. I remember you said this, Got it. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then 5 minutes go by, and we should have been there, like, in 5 minutes. It was super close, right? And it was close, but it wasn't close enough to walk. Not in that New York cold. So we started getting calls, and it's from our chaperones who are waiting on us, because at this point, we're like really close to being late. And I'm starting to freak out because I've told this man one time. I asked him if he needed the address a second time, and then the phone calls were the worst part. Luckily, my phone call was from somebody who hired me. He worked in New York at that point in time, but he originally hired me back in Texas. So our conversation was simple. He could tell I was nervous. I low-key was about to cry because it was too risky. It was so much traffic and I didn't want us to miss our time slot. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on the phone with him. I'm like, Jason, we're on our way. The cab driver is saying that we're almost there. We're heading the right way. So, you know, yada, yada, yada. Ashley gets a call. Ashley is super optimistic, and she definitely just has a positive spirit, and she likes to see the positive in every situation. So her phone call goes exactly like this. Hey, how's it going? She's talking to a whole nother lady, right? The lady's like, good, where are you guys? You know, everyone's preparing to leave and get on the subway to go to the filming location. She's like, oh, you know, we're on our way. I think we got a little bit lost. The cab driver had the wrong instructions or directions for the GPS, but don't worry, we look fabulous. When I tell y'all that lady said, that's great for y'all to look fabulous, but we cannot use you if you are not here. I snapped. I just lost my mind. At this point, I started yelling. I'm like, sir, I've asked you 2 or 3 times, do you need the address again? Like, this is the address. This is where we're supposed to be going. I'm staring at my GPS at this point, so I need you to take us here. Like, it's completely going opposite direction. We've been in the car for like 10 to 15 minutes already. Where the hell are you taking us? And he's like, well, what's the address again? So I tell him the address for like the 3rd time. And he's like, oh, I thought that you said you're supposed to go to this direction, to this, whatever he had wrong. And I was pissed off about it, because I'm like, dude, I sat up here and I offered you to tell you just to make sure we was going to the right place, but you insisted that you had it. Y'all, this man was about to take us to Brooklyn. The hotel was in Chelsea and the filming location was in Soho. Brooklyn was way in Africa at this point. So I'm like, where the hell are you taking us? So anyway, we end up getting there, and at this point I have an attitude. So the cab ride that was $5 turned into being, how much? Like $20-something. Whatever, let's get out the car. You was really trying to get us because you knew we were not from New York. That's what that was all about. We get inside the building, we grab our stuff, then we're headed to the filming location. We don't even have time to sit down and talk. We're literally like running to the subway, trying to make sure we get there on time. And it's like ice everywhere. And I knew at this point, I'm like, you cannot go into this with an attitude, because I know exactly how you are. If you go into it with an attitude, it's gonna mess up the whole entire day. So you need to kind of fix something. Something has to shake. So I'm walking and I'm just like praying, like, Lord Jesus, please don't let me walk into this building with an attitude. I do not need to be giving out bad vibes. Like, don't let me dish this negative energy out. Let this mood just change. Please just let me have a successful day. God works, God changes things. Prayers work, prayer changes things. And that literally set the tone of my day. We get to the filming location, so automatically everything changed and everything brightened up. Like, the people were so nice to us. We were working with a filming company. I can't remember the exact name, but if you see like any Adidas commercial, or any fashion editorial, or any magazine cover, they work with celebrities only. So this is how I knew it was a real deal. And the studio we were at was crazy. So we start the process, and I'm going to kind of skip through that because I don't want this video to be too long. I already see it's kind of long. We do the audio portion, which is just voiceover work. They making me get big-headed because they like,
oh, have you done this before? Oh, you're doing really good today. It's like only a couple of takes and we got everything. You answered all the questions.
You know, I'm feeling good about myself. So after the audio portion, we had the video portion, which is actually the campaign footage. I'm actually going to leave down the site below. You'll click on it. You'll see my face everywhere. I'm in like 2 videos, I believe. So just go ahead and watch everything. All of that will be in the description box. So anyway, we get that filming portion done, and then I start feeling myself even more because they stopped giving me direction at some point. They're like, oh no, you got it. Like, everything you're doing, your movements and stuff, they're really natural. Like, just keep doing it, keep doing you, or whatever. The third portion, the last portion of the day. Oh my God. Y'all, this was the photo shoot, and let me tell you something about me. I don't like being in front of the camera too much. Like, I have a round face, I have a baby face, I'm not really fit. And I just feel like when you're in front of the camera and you're shooting for something, you need to be like model type. You need to be in shape to really be comfortable. At least I do. That's how it works out for me. I can't speak for everybody. Start shooting and the shots are like, they're all right. You know, we probably have something to work with, but they're not the best. And I knew this just because people were looking like, oh, you're handsome. Oh, this shot is okay. Oh, maybe we should try this. Like, you know, I'm considering like all of these things. So this is where the game changed. Nicki's album had just came out, right? And it was the dang on pink print. So they were like, the audio portions are done. If you want to do your shoot with music, you can. Y'all, why they tell me that? They knew I was gonna cut up. They already knew. The first song I put on was Feeling Myself. And I was just like, you know, when that beat drop on Feeling Myself? That beat, it was already over. So I'm like being myself. I just started dancing, and like that gave me the best results, where I wasn't thinking about it, I wasn't posing, I was just able to be me, and they were able to capture it. Long story short, I had all of the support office people, all of the people with the filming company on the other side of the wall, like dancing and interacting with me. And that just made me so happy, because it was at that moment that I realized, you know, this is going well, and all I'm doing is being myself. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how good it feels? Like, after growing up and being like bullied and teased about, you know, whatever my mannerisms or how I act or anything like that, to be yourself and have it be accepted and have a positive outcome from that is just mind-blowing. So it was, I felt good. I was on a high. You can't tell me anything. So we get the shots. Everything is fine, and I just left that day on a high, knowing that no matter how this turns out, I'm okay with how it went. I'm grateful for the experience, and I'll forever be grateful, and I'm gonna forever remember this. So so it was another 2 months until we even found out any extra information. Over that 2 months, I kept hearing things like, oh, I saw you on the display for this. Oh, I may have seen you for the campaign previews and stuff like that, but I don't know yet. So don't take it for sure. Don't get too excited yet. All these things. I'm talking about phone calls to my store location and everything. So I'm like excited, but I'm not too excited. I'm like, they might use me. People are seeing me on these things, but am I a part of it, right? That's when I found out the news. The campaign was launched. I was not only in 2 of the online videos out of however many were there, probably like 4 or 5. The biggest thing was to see myself all over the country, in different states, my friends from like different schools, people who didn't know me in person but knew me over social media, like would send me pictures. Like everything was just really amazing. Like it was such a blessing just to see this. Like, you know, like, oh, okay, this is my first taste of not fame, not stardom, not any of that. This is my first taste of me participating in something that I love to do, or something related to the field that I'm trying to go into, completely being myself and it going well for me. So that was the big thing for me. I'm like, you know, this is cool. Like, I really want to pursue this because it just felt right. Honestly, it just felt right. That kind of ends the story out for me. That's how I was selected to be a H&M model. And thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry that the video was like a little bit long, but obviously this story had a lot of detail that I felt was kind of important or entertaining to hear, at least I hope it was. But yeah, if you guys like the video, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions as to something I may have forgotten or any additional information that you want to know, go ahead and drop a comment about it. So interact with me, we talk, we cool. Subscribers are like family. You guys have been so awesome to me and shown me a lot of love, so don't stop that and keep that interaction going with me. I would love to talk to you guys. So thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys in my next video.